We got the 12-team playoff format and got it fast-passed here to 2024. Why was the Rose Bowl the lone holdout?
It goes back to the Rose Bowl's historic place in the sport, and they had their own contract with the college football playoff. And because of that, they were able all alone to veto expansion. I've been coming on the show a long time talking about playoff expansion, Dan. I've written a lot of stories, books. Nobody ever believed when I would say, yeah, it's getting held up because the Rose Bowl wants to have the sun set at the end of the third quarter of their game. And that's what's holding up $1 billion enterprise. And people go, no, not possible. I did not believe, when I started reporting on this, I did not believe it myself, but you end up as one of the obstacles. It's like, well, can we have the sun set at the start of the third quarter? No, has to set over the same game. And it is, I'll give it this, it is one heck of a sunset.
Yeah, it is.
It is one of the great sunsets in America. But this is $1 billion operation. And if you're the president of Mississippi State, you go, I don't really care. Okay, I want the money. And the president of Mississippi State said, get this thing done. And he was in charge, and they finally got it done. So the Rose Bowl has given up all the petty, ridiculous disagreements, the infighting, the politics. I mean, the stuff that held this up is amazing. And they still can't kick the bowl games. They still can't kick them out. Like it's amazing. If you said to Roger Goodell, I think the AFC Championship game should be owned and operated by like the tourism board of San Antonio, and you should play it there every year, not in Kansas City and they get half the money. Like no one would go for this, but it's small steps, but this is a big step. They're going to be a real playoff. Next year will be the last of the 4-team, and then it's going to be really wild after that.
What's the downside?
I mean, those of us that love college football the most love college football for its inefficiencies, its ridiculousness. It's the whole thing, right? She will lose some. Ohio, we'll see. You don't even know if this is true, but there was a sense on Saturday at the Horseshoe that Michigan had ended Ohio State's season for all effect. Next year, or if there's a 12-team playoff, that is not the case. Now you're getting better seeding. You should have advantages of home field or a bye and some different things, but that's not the same as ending the sport. But that said, those games are rare. And quite honestly, we're not that I believe this should happen, but if USC loses on Friday night, Ohio State's back in anyway. So did it really end their season? So those magical moments where somebody ends a season in that, that one loss, but conversely, we're going to get so many great games, and there's so much more money. There's so much more interest, so many more teams that'll be involved in the season. I mean, we're going into a weekend here. This is the championship game weekend. None of the games may matter. By Friday night, the whole weekend could be over. Like, it's a weird way to run a sport where you're just like, oh, yeah, this doesn't matter.